All right. Hello. We are hands again. So, as I said in my Natasha Denona video, we are now going to be doing Colourpop. And we're going to start with my 9 pans, plus I have one of these little 5 pan guys. But before we get into these, I just wanted to tell you my numbers. I have 40 Colourpop palettes. So, I have 9 pans, 12 pans, 18 pans, 16 pans. I have the 30 pan palettes. We're not going to swatch every single shade, but we're going to swatch a majority of these. It's going to be a lot. So, this is going to be longer than the Natasha Denona video for sure. So, please get yourself a snack, a drink. I have myself a Crush soda. And let's just get started. So first, we're going to start with this 5 pan. This is the Just a Glitch palette. Oh, it's really hard for me to open. So I'm trying to make sure I'm in frame. So I really like this color story. I like the 3 shimmers to 2 mattes. But I really think that the big Aurora Struck palette that I have would be giving this. I don't want to say I'm decluttering this necessarily because I've still never even used this since I got it, and I did really want it. But for right this minute, because I'm not pulling out my 30 pans until the end, I am going to just set this one aside to compare it to the Aurora Struck later. So that'll be set aside. Now when it comes to the 9 pans, I have these. This stack here is all the bigger size. So I have 5 of these bigger sized pans. And the rest of these are the smaller sized ones. So I'm just going to move these over. And we will start with the bigger pans. So as you can see, this is the So Fly palette. I've already gone through these when I first got them. And recently, and took out shades that I just didn't want, didn't think I need. Because for this very first round, I just kind of want to go through the palettes, look at them objectively. If I want to compare them to other things, I will. But I just want to see, are they things that I want to keep? So for this palette, I have the shade FYI in another palette. I should also get out my magnet. So give me 1 second to grab that. Alright, so for this palette, do I want to keep all the shades? Obviously, I don't need FYI because I already have that, but I think the other 5 make a really pretty 5 pan palette. So for right this second, I'm just going to take out FYI and leave this alone because I also don't know what packaging I'm going to want to keep and how I'm going to rearrange things. Like I said, we're going to do like a once, twice, maybe even 3 times over looking at things. Then we have Wannabe. So now, I really want to look at this shimmer. Is that something... I feel like that's not a shimmer I would use. Are these mattes I'm going to use? Ooh. Okay, I was gonna like that dark brown, but I don't like how it felt. I actually don't want this palette. So I'm gonna throw FYI in here. And I'm gonna declutter this whole palette. So we'll put that to the side. Then we have So Elemental. Maybe we will be swatching every shade. because I just kind of need to know how these look together, how they feel. Oh, these look nice. Okay. These all feel pretty good. Okay. Now, my thing is, I have Ice Dream, which looks very similar to that. But this isn't a Super Shock formula. So maybe it would be nice to have that shade. I don't think I need that. So I'm going to take out Angelite. You know, I should probably be also writing this down. 1 second. Okay, are we recording? I believe so. Now we have all amethyst, which I do really love this palette. I just want to make sure that it's still swatching okay. See, and I don't love this first shade, Brilliant. Like, it's just, they don't do a good job of these white shades that shift, personally. And let me swatch the rest of these shimmers. And I don't want Amulet. Okay, let me swatch the mattes. For now, I'll keep them. But I'm going to take out Brilliant and Amulet. So, from all amethyst. And now I've already gone through this palette from my Color Pan project pan and took out these 4 shades, and I know I like these 4. So we're going to keep those. So that is what we're looking like so far for the big guys. My hand's probably going to be raw by the end of this. Okay, now I have 5 palettes that are in this cardboard packaging, so we can just go through these first. I have Baroque, which this shade came from That's Taupe, but I just want to make sure that this still swatches okay, because this is an older one in my collection. It is still such a unique color story, but just because it's unique does not mean that that's a good thing. That could be why it's not getting used. It does still feel really nice. Oh yeah, those are wonderful. So I'm actually going to keep Baroque as it is. Now, for the Star Wars Mandalorian palette, this was just in my Pan the Alphabet project. Now, I haven't used every shade in here, but I have swatched them, and I know I was working on Clan of Two, and I do not like this shade. So I am going to pull that shade out. So I just want to swatch this brown. Okay, no, that is pretty. So that's all I'm going to declutter from that palette. Now another one I'm going to keep intact is my High Tide palette. I love this palette and it's beautiful, so I'm keeping this one. And it's actually, I want to look at these together. I have Sage the Day, which I only have 6 shades left in here. And then I have the Star Wars Mandalorian palette, the first one. Very similar. So let's see. This shade isn't really like anything in there, so that's not a very good one. Like, it's got a green shift, but it's not very bright. So, no thank you. And then we have these shimmers. Which lean more gold. And this is a Super Shock, which I don't mind. I don't like that gold. I don't like the texture of it. So I'm going to get rid of this shade, which is called the Force. Okay, now we have mattes. So we have 2 light browns. Oh, they do look different. This one actually feels more like a satin. It's got like a sheen to it, but I don't mind both of them. No. Okay. Okie dokie. And then oh, I don't really like that. Ooh, I do like that. So actually, I'm gonna take that, decluttering that. Sage the Day. Okay, and I'm gonna put these in here. So now I do have one of these clear ones. This is Muse Moment. which I do think is cute, but we're going to keep that to the side. And then I have a whole bunch of these guys. Whole bunch. So let me separate these into like color-ish. Okay. So we can start with the pinks. So I have Cloud Spun, which I dropped mine, which is why that's broken. And we have Strawberry Shake. And then we also have Wine and Only, which this is not going to be anything like those. So we'll look at that one in a second. But these two, they're really not anything like each other. So gonna get rid of the broken one. And then as far as mattes go, okay, I mean, those aren't bad. What did I get rid of? Candy fluff. Okay. Now for this one, yeah, I can just feel like this one feels old. Yeah, nope. I'm getting rid of this whole palette. So I'm gonna throw the broken shade in there. Strawberry Shake. Whole palette. So then we have this guy, which I do really like this one. Ooh, that was aggressive. But it is dark. See, and I don't know. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to get rid of that shade. I don't think it's needed in the palette. It's Buono. So, Miss Bliss was already in a project, so I already know what shades I'm only going to be keeping, which are the 2 pinks and then these 2 oranges. But I want to compare. Okay, those are orange. Now, do those look like? Yes, they do. So, those are quite different. I mean, honestly, no, they're not. And I'd rather keep this one. And then we have those are literally the same shades, so I'd rather keep these. So I'm just gonna pull. Do I need these? I mean, they are pretty. I'm gonna pull those out. Okay, now for Orange Glad. Now this guy is old. So let's see. I mean, they're pretty, but let's see what these mattes. I have such a dip on that shade. Oof. These still perform. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna pull the 2 shimmers out because I just don't care for them. Okay. Now we also have greens. So we'll start with Aura and Out. Is that like any of those? Maybe? No. I like them both though. And then I don't think these are the same. They actually are similar. And I like this blue better than this green. And then we have a Super Shock. Which, yeah, no. And then let's see, we have a white and some orange yellow. Okay. I kind of like the sequiny yellow. So hang on. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me see. So we have this green. Is that like anything in this? Yes. Okay. Okay. So. Oh, did I swatch this? That's pretty. So here, I'm going to take out that one I don't want, that I don't want. And I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave that alone. And then No. This palette is so old, and I can tell. Yeah. So, decluttering, just my luck. We'll move that over there, which means that can go in there, and that can go in there. And then just so we can get this Muse moment out of the way, which I'm glad that, you know, I don't really have any overlap. We're going to look at browns. I have browns and blacks here, but we're specifically going to look at browns. So this is Going Coconuts. I'm thinking... So first we have Soft Life. Okay, does that swatch? Okay, those are basically the same shade. And my Going Coconuts is old. Those look super similar too. Cool. Now see this shimmer. I don't know. And then this is Wild Child. Yeah, I'm not gonna have something like that. So let's see. Yeah, these are even getting the little like bumps in them. That would be the only shade I'd want to keep, and I don't see the point. So I'm going to declutter Going Coconuts. So I'm going to keep Muse Moment. Now let's see. Ooh, that's pretty. And then we got some beautiful browns. I'm leaving that the way that is for now. Another palette I'm leaving the way that it is my Blow and Smoke palette. I love all of this. Love this grayscale. Ooh, you know what I do want to look at? These whites. Well, they both say Young Love. Oh, but the one in Blow and Smoke is so much better. So I don't need that. Okay. So I'm going to throw that white just in here. And then last we have a purple and we have a blue. So, which the purple has some blues in it. So, let's see. It's really the same. I don't think that that's... Ooh, that's pretty. And that could go in there. Ooh, that's like a periwinkle. I kind of like... Here, hang on. Let me... Kind of like both of those. So we'll take a look. But those would be the only two I want to keep out of that palette. So... I honestly don't want Ice BB. Honestly, hang on. Ooh, those are good. Okay. Because I don't want that. Get off. Is that buildable? Yes, so I will keep that. Okay, let me do some finagling. Okay, so that's it for 9 pans, and we've already decluttered 7 whole palettes. And then I have 1 extra shadow, so... Because, you know, the large pans, but we'll be able to fit that guy somewhere. Set those aside. Now we're going to move into the small pan 12 pans. So we'll start with the Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of. Shimmer, that is pretty. So now for these, it's really more, I'm just going to go through and figure out, like, is it something I want to keep, need to keep, before we figure out. I did not do those in any good order. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. So... Now, Off Melrose was already in a project, so I want to get rid of these 4 shimmers. I do like Trading Post. I do want to keep all of the mattes. So, there's Off Melrose. And here, I should probably write that down. then we have Lush Life. Let's see. Wow, those are gorgeous. Okay. Are these building? Yes. Okay. Because I'm okay if sometimes it's got to be buildable. Wow. All right. Nothing's leaving Lush Life. Now, Menage a Moi, let me smell this one because I had to get rid of my entire Boudoir Noir that I got at the same time. Now, this one smells perfectly fine. My Boudoir Noir one started to smell just bad. Like, if you've ever smelled a bad expired shadow, that is what it smelled like. So, let me see here. Now, this is old. I got this right when it launched. It's so pretty. This one was my favorite. Oh, it's still so good. And then we have this one and this one. Yeah, the only one that I didn't love is this shade, but even then it can be buffed out. Yeah, nothing's leaving that one. So, we got rid of a couple shades. So, there's that. Now we have the larger pan 12 pans. So first we have the Colourpop palette. So let's start with the mattes. Okay. Green and blue. Pink. The green. Ooh, can the green... Okay. The green isn't the best, but it's not horrible. Let's see. Okay, don't love either of those. I'm going to get rid of this whole palette. So I'm going to throw this purple in here. I'm going to get rid of this whole thing because I don't need it. Because I have the Lush Life palette that performed better and it was a similar color story. Now, I might end up wanting to keep this packaging because it's so heavy, but that's neither here nor there right now. Now we have Lost in Love, which this, when I got it, was a very disappointing palette. Those are so bad. Like, this, can it be built up? Yes, but... So then... And then... Oh, that one feels horrible. Okay. It feels horrible. Swatch is alright, but it's chunky. Those two dark shades, like they swatch up? No. Getting rid of the whole palette. I don't think the bigger pans perform as well. This is Control Alt Glam. And we're just going to swatch in order. Okay. And then okay, I love all of that. That was beautiful. This this palette. I don't know if I've ever had a palette make me so angry. Every single shimmer in this palette was dog shit. I'm gonna swatch these again just to double check that these are what I want to keep, but I remember liking all of these. Okay, maybe. I guess they were built up. This palette was so bad. That shade's pretty. I kind of just want to pull this shade out and keep it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put it in Control Alt Glam. So now we're going to move on to the next set. So now I have two 18 pan palettes. So we have the Hocus Pocus 2, which this is what I have from it. So this, I believe, is a glitter. Oh, but it is so pretty. And then we have green. Oh, yeah. That I like. And then we have like 3 brownish shades. I mean, honestly, I don't need any of those. I don't think those are good at all. And is that a black? Okay, so the only 2 shades I want to keep are these 2, which I think I might be able to throw into the Twilight palette. Yeah, boy. Shabingo, shaboingo. Because I don't think I'm going to take anything out of this. Well, I say that, and then I don't like that shade. So, ice cold, you can come out. Okay. Those are pretty. I wanted the New Moon palette so bad, and I couldn't purchase it. And now it's gone. Okay. And let me just swatch this very last one. Oh, jeepers. Oh, my goodness gracious. Holy. moly. All right. So now we have 16 pans, and I have 2 of the smaller size and 1 of the larger size. So originally I was going to leave Less for Dusk alone because this is the only one that I'm still dealing with. But I do want to see if there's anything in here that just based off swatching I want to let go of. So let's do shimmers. Okay, those are actually gorgeous. And then let's just go for mattes. This feels thick, like the formula. Okay, I don't think I need this shade. So that can come out. Okay. Hmm. And last but not least. Yeah, no. And that can go. So that's what we're looking like for Lust for Dusk. So then we have the Through My Eyes palette, which this guy is old, so let's do shimmers. Which, like, these do have shine still, but, like, you can just feel that they're not as shimmery. And then here I'll do the sequin. I just don't think this is up to par anymore. That's a beautiful yellow, though. Okay. The mattes are going to make me eat my words. Oh, that teal? Okay, so maybe I just don't like the shimmers? I mean, to be fair, the only mattes I really like are the yellow, the teal, and that red. Oh, the palette smells like crayons, so I'm just gonna... This guy, it's time for it to go. And I'm gonna throw these in here. So... palette gone. And now this one is the large pans. And again, I had an issue with all of the shimmers. So I bought this at the same time that I bought Troublemaker, and I had just as many issues with this palette as I did with that palette. So we're also going to see if there's anything that I still, like anything else that I'd like to get rid of from this one. Should have brought a towel so I can express dry my hands. Okay. Okay, you can't see any of these. I mean, they are light shadows. I can see them. Okay, at least I can see them then. Okay. I don't think I need the satin, and I don't need the gray. Do I need the black? Well, that's actually pretty good black. But the satin and the gray can come out. So that's eyes on me and off the clock. All right. All right, and all we have left are my 3 mega palettes before we go through the keep pile again in a different way. So we have It's a Mood. How do I want to do this? I mean, I guess I should just swatch them all out like I've been doing. Just see if I want to keep everything in the palette. So okay. I feel like this might be one I get rid of. That whole row doesn't wow me. Ooh, I have a dip on that shade. Okay, those 2 shimmers are pretty. And like, that's not a bad matte, but okay. Okay, I like this shimmer, and that's not a bad matte. So I like this little 5 pan right here. I don't hate that shimmer, and even though it was a little dry, that purple has nice pigment. So I'm going to go to the other hand. Ooh. Okay. Those purples, like, even though, like, that's nice, but I don't know if I need to keep that. Okay. I don't really need any of those. Okay, I like the mints. I like that green and that green, but I don't like that shimmer. So, what do I really like out of the palette? 1, 2, no. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really it on this side. Maybe 5, 6, maybe. 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, I could make a 12 pan if needed out of this. So, right this second, I'm just going to pull out the shades that I do like. And I like that one. And I like that one. And that one. All right. There. 12 shades. That I like. Aurora Struck. I'm honestly pretty sure I want to keep all of it. But let me wipe my hands off and we'll figure it out. Okay. So. And again, we're just going to go straight down. Okay. I do not need this shade. Okay. Okay. All right. It shows up. I don't love that. So we might pull that out, but it really just depends on how many shades in this I don't like. But for right this second, let's pull that out. But we'll put it up there. Jesus. Alright. And that even... I feel like I'm not going to want that blue because of it crumbling like that when we have a black. I feel like Colourpop does not know how to do gray. Don't like that. Alright. Then we have these guys. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, I accidentally, first of all, I don't like that shade. But second of all, I accidentally covered up this one, so. Okay. And I for sure don't want that shade because that's a prettier purple. Okay. And cool. So I'm going to put shades in. I'm going to switch some things around. Give me a second. All right, so I took all of the mint shades and the couple purples from the It's a Mood that I wanted to keep. And this is how I've rearranged Aurora Struck to how I'm keeping it. So I still have 5 oranges from It's a Mood, but Aurora Struck is done. Now we have Play It Jewel. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't love that, but I could keep that. I don't want the brown. So the brown is a no-go. Okay. All right, that's beautiful. Okay, let me just throw things. Okay. I don't want either of those shimmers. Because I don't think Colourpop does a good duochrome, and I don't need a blue satin. Okay. Oops. Wrong one. Let's redo. Okay, that's good. Gonna get rid of the purple. Okay. Ooh, those are pretty. Yep, those are pretty. And okay, so 4 shades coming out of there, which at this point, so it was here. Let me look. Okay, so I put those 5 oranges from the It's a Mood palette in here. So we still have some holes in this guy. But I am going to do some finagling off camera because my hands hurt and I just don't know what else I want to do yet. And I will come back and I'm going to show you what palettes we have left, what we're keeping, what they look like, and all of that. So it's going to be just a second for you guys, but it's still going to be such a hot minute for me. So, toodaloo. Alright, you guys. So we're going to start with the palettes I'm decluttering. And these are all of them. So we have It's a Mood, and they're not all full of shadows. Going Coconuts, Through My Eyes, Troublemaker, Lost in Love, maybe, Hocus Pocus 2, All Amethyst, Control Alt Glam, After Hours, the Just a Glitch, So Elemental, So Fly, Sage the Day, Wannabe, Strawberry Shake, Miss Bliss, the Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of, On Cloud Blue, In a Trance, Orange You Glad, Aura and Out. Come on. Just My Luck. Cloud Spun. And Play It Jewel. So that is everything we're decluttering. Now let me show you all of the palettes and how I have arranged them, because I'm pretty proud of myself. So let me get these in a nice order here. All right, so Lust for Dusk is still how it is because I need to try this palette out. So that is staying how it is and is going back in my drawer. We have Lush Life. Menage a Moi is the only one I did not add shadows to, and that's just because of the age of this palette. Because once this starts going off, I'm just going to declutter this whole thing. But as of right now, honestly, no, I'm just going to let this go. So, never mind. There's a whole nother palette gone. We have Off Melrose. I kept the Powerpuff Girl packaging. And this is what I created in it. And I think this is really, really pretty. I took palette colors from All Amethyst, the So Elemental, After Hours. Yeah. We have the Twilight palette. I really like the bright pop of green in there. And then for little guys, we have the Mandalorian palette. We have the Muse Moment. Obviously Blowin' Smoke, because it's one of the ones I didn't touch. We have Sprinkle a Little Magic. Wild Child. Wine and Only. Baroque we left alone. High Tide we left alone. I think we only changed the one shade in this Mandalorian one. And then Aurora Struck. So let me count up what we're keeping.